What's going on, guys? This is Tasmania. I'm coming to you with an updated deck profile today, and today I wanted to show you guys my new FA deck profile. Basically, the new support just got revealed today as of recording this video, and I still like the deck. There are still quite a few cards in the deck that are very, very helpful that are going to be coming out, such as the new level 7 Dark Monster that we got. I can't remember the names off the top of my head, but as we go through the deck profile, I'll give you guys some more clear thoughts than the little video that I put out today as of recording yesterday, as you're watching this. So let's just get into it, shall we? For the FA monsters, we are playing 3 Auto Navigator. This is basically our best playmaker of the deck. You want to see this in basically every opening hand that you have. They just start so many combos. You get to search, get a free special summon off of it, free synchro summon. The new level 7 synchro monster you get is so good, in my opinion. It just lets you do a lot of the things that you want to do in the deck, and quite honestly, if they had just revealed the 2 level 7s alone, I would have been extremely pumped for basically what the deck has to offer. It's the other cards, the spells and the traps that got revealed that are kind of lackluster and don't really help the deck much. So with this guy, this will definitely be way more useful with the new level 7s that we are going to get. So moving on, we're playing 3 Whip Crosser. If you guys don't know what this guy does, he basically just shuts down hand traps. Anything that would discard, your opponent would discard, can't really activate under this guy once he's level 7, which is really, really cool. Other than that, a lot of your main deck monsters are basically just stall and stun. I like to think of this deck as almost like a combo stun deck, especially with the new support. So yeah, he's pretty useful for that and helps you get your Navigator plays off. Next, playing 3 Hang On Mach. I chose to play 3 of this. I've seen people play 2. That's a mistake. Dark Wall is really good. He can also shut down some hand traps, specifically ones that say discard to the graveyard. If they don't hit the graveyard, they don't technically resolve. Ash Blossom doesn't have that wording, so it will resolve if it's discarded, so just be mindful of that. DD Crow, same thing. But for a lot of the hand traps, for example, even though Max C is not legal anymore, Max C was one of the cards that this guy could stop. So just pay attention to wording in the hand traps, because if they specifically state discard to the graveyard, this guy shuts them off. So that's just really, really useful. For the last FA monster, I'm playing 1 Sonic Meister. I know this is a little bit of a controversial pick, but you really just need an FA level 4 in your hand as soon as possible. You want to get the combos off really, really quickly. It just helps you a lot. So he's not really here for his effects. He's just mostly here because he's another level 4 FA monster. For some of the support monsters, I guess you could call them 2 Cock-a-doodle-doo. I almost want to pump this up to 3, just because it is so good. The free special summon of a level 3 tuner is very, very relevant. It helps you get into things like Ancient Fairy Dragon, or some of the other level 7, one of the other level 7s I play in the deck, Black Rose, and then, of course, the new level 7 that was revealed today. The next, guys, we're playing the Zodiac engine. We're playing double Thoroughblade. I don't know if this engine will actually survive into the final iteration of the deck. I wouldn't say final, but the next iteration of the deck once the Dark FA monster hits us through Flames of Destruction, just because basically that card does exactly the same as the Zodiac engine, but it puts a level 7 body on board, which is really, really cool. It can help you get your combos off in terms of that, but for now, we're playing this guy, and with Cock-a-doodle-doo, you can definitely get your combos going off with that. So, 2, this is really necessary as well, because if you draw into multiple barrages, you can at least get a draw off of that. We're playing double Photon Thrasher. I just like it. It's not super, super necessary, but I think that it's relevant enough. It can make level 4s, which is kind of nice, I'd say. And you can also play around with it with Auto Navigator, and instead of using one of your FA monsters, you can use Photon Thrasher instead for your level 7 plays, or level 8 plays, if that's the case. Next, we're playing 2 Eater of Millions. A lot of the cards in the extra deck you really don't always go into. You're very, very conservative with what cards you go into. It's very, very simple plays. Typically, in terms of how a combo deck works, typically it's like 3 or 4 steps at most. Whereas if you think of a typical combo deck, such as the new Goki deck, that is going to be very powerful after Flames of Destruction. It's nowhere near as, I would say, complicated as that in terms of combos, but this guy, definitely very useful. He outs a lot of cards. He's a level 1, which is really cool as well. So, he just gets rid of problem cards, and I'll probably be playing him once Flood comes out. For the last card, last monster, we're playing one Grinder Golem. You want to make Saryuja. It just helps a lot with consistency in the deck. You actually do play quite a few draw cards and deck thinners. But I do like this card a lot. This is actually my favorite card in the format right now. I almost wish it was at 2 or 3, but I like it at 1. It's my favorite one of, I guess, just because it gains you so much advantage. So, yeah, and with the new Synchro, just a funny fact, he's got 300 defense. You can inflict piercing through this guy, which is sometimes really, really funny. For the spells, at least for the field spells, we're playing 3 Circuit Grand Prix. This is the best field spell for FAs, just because it increases levels by 3 or 2, depending on when you activate it, because that is very important with the field spells. And they can't be targeted, so it's literally the best ones. And as with all the field spells, when it's destroyed, you get to search for an FA card from your deck to hand, any card you want, and that is really, really good. Next, we're playing 3 Off-Road Grand Prix. Basically, it's like a slightly worse version of City Grand Prix. He protects you. This guy protects and raises levels during the main phase, but you're really just playing him because he's better than the original Grand Prix field spell, which I don't really care to know the name of because it's really bad. The other FA spells, we're playing 2 Pit Stop and 2 Test Run. It really sucks to draw into multiples of these because you can only activate 1 per turn. Each of them. Yes, getting a +2 technically off of this really late in the game is really, really nice, and you could play Foolish Burial Goods to technically thin your deck more, but I don't really like it for that. It's mostly just the extra effect that you have in the grave for that's way more important. Basically, it's a Monster Reborn from the grave, which we do play Monster Reborn, just because this is a little slow, but it's still really, really good. As for Test Run, this is hands down the best spell card in the deck, in terms of what FAs want to do. Switch one of your FAs to defense position, and then non-targeting, destroy anything on the field. You can destroy one of your own field spells if you really, really need to search. You can destroy one of your opponent's cards. It's just really, really versatile, and then when it's in the grave, it's an E-Telly. So, fantastic card for that. Next, we're playing 3 Zodiac Barrage. Yeah, this is really, really important right now. You can either play this or Ancient Gear Catapult. It just depends on your preference. If you're playing Ancient Gear Catapult, I would highly recommend playing the Symphonic Warrior engine just because it's a little bit easier to get in the grave. I don't want to play that engine just because I don't think it's isn't that great in the deck right now. But this is definitely useful. Also, the Wyvern, which you kind of have to play with the Ancient Gear Catapult engine, just like it prevents you from setting, and sometimes you can just set Test Run or a field spell just in case, or Scapegoat, which I do play. So, just really, really nice. Gets a level 4 body on the board that can possibly get you a draw if you draw multiple barrages. So, hey, not bad. Playing 6 field spells, so we're playing 3 Terraforming. You just want to see your field spells as soon as possible. They really help extend your plays, which is really nice and really needed. For the next card, we're playing 2 Desires because the deck isn't consistent enough to not play it. You don't really have a lot of key combo makers outside of the Auto Navigator and the field spells. As far as all the other monsters go, it's really just important that you have those or Cockle-Doodle-Doo. I think it's just too important to not ignore. Like, you have to play at least 2. Next, 2 Scapegoat. Again, Saryuja is just really powerful, really helps the deck, and it's a good defensive card. One thing that I really, really like about this card is that you can also use the Scapegoat tokens for Synchro Summoning, so if you really need an extra level or 2, this is a really good card for that when it cycles back around to you. The last 3 cards are each one of us. We're playing 1 Monster Reborn because Monster Reborn is just really good. I would actually argue I like it more than Soul Charge in this deck, and I love Soul Charge. Soul Charge is obviously the better version of Monster Reborn, but usually I only want 1 monster, and I don't always want to pay 1,000 life and give up my battle phase for this deck, because this deck is very beat 'em down because of the stun aspect of it. But regardless, they're both really, really good, helps you get to your plays, and with the new Synchro that we're getting, definitely this will be a little bit more useful because you get some negates on the board and at least last another turn. For the last one over, we're playing 1 Rhoda because we're playing 2 Photon Thrasher, and I don't want to play 3 Photon Thrasher and none of this, or 1 of this. I feel like that would be just really buggy, and based off of other ratios, yeah, it is. So, that's it for those. Not playing any traps. As far for the traps that the FA are going to get in a couple weeks, the normal trap is really the only one that's actually good. The continuous trap is just hot garbage, and the FA winners, oh my gosh, that is a terrible card. Yes, it's cheesy and it can steal a win from you really weirdly, but I just don't like it. It forces you to play the really bad field spell, and I don't want to do that. Anyway, onto the extra deck. We are playing 1 FA Motorhome Transport. I think you're only going to need 1 of this as far as anything goes, just because we're playing 1 Cloud Castle. I've seen people play 2. I think this is actually correct. Just because Cloud Castle can actually be a very good defensive card, which is kind of where the deck is heading towards. I prefer it to a lot of... I prefer to playing 2 of these just because it puts more bodies on board, and it gives you a free FA monster on top of a 3k booty. So I just prefer this over 2 Motorhomes. Next for the level 8s, we're only playing 1 Omega. You get to recycle your cards and return them, so you can just activate them again the next turn. So yeah, Omega's really good. If it goes to 1, this won't bother the deck at all, because you don't want to play more than 1 because you can only summon 1 in the deck. For the level 7s, we're playing 2. We're playing 1 Black Rose because playing on the field is really good, and having easy access to level 7s is also really good in this deck. I like this guy a lot because it just gives you a lot. It can turn the game around for you. And of course, we're playing 1 Ancient Fairy Dragon because of the fact that you're playing a lot of field spells and popping them is good in the deck. So yeah, Ancient Fairy Dragon definitely is staple in the deck, in my opinion. For the Xyz, we're only playing 2. 1 rank 4 that we're playing, the 1 rank 4 we're playing is Babushka. I really want to play Tornado Dragon, but I think that this is a little bit more useful. Tornado Dragon, yeah, it's really, really nice, but you're not really going to be making rank 4s. You can pop a field spell on your turn, then pop a card on your opponent's turn, which is really convenient, but you don't really want to do that unless you open Soul Charge or Monster Reborn. It's just really not that great, and you would think it would be, but it's really not. You never want to make it. Baguska you do, because this deck is a little slow. Next, 1 rank 7 is, of course, number 42, Galaxy Tomahawk. It's really easy to make level 7s in this deck, actually, especially because we're playing Ancient Fairy Dragon, so this guy is awesome. I cannot explain that enough. I'm waiting for this card to get banned at some point because it's just the amount of tokens it generates is insane. So yeah, definitely play these. Definitely play this card as much as you can because it's quite ridiculous. Yeah. Next, we're playing 1 Link Rebo and 1 Link Spider for our Link 1s. This is for your scapegoats, basically. You can't summon it off of your 42 just because it is literally impossible. You get level 7, I believe, tokens off of this, level 6 or 7. Level 6 tokens off of Tomahawk. The only one that you can summon actually off of Tomahawk is this guy. You can't summon Link Rebo. Excuse me. But regardless, yeah, that's really all you need to make Saryuja anyway. We're playing 1 Underclock Taker because it can help you just get over things that are really, really hard to get over. Yeah, I like it a lot, and you play a lot of effect monsters. 1 Akashic Magician because we're playing Grinder Golem. I just like the card. I like what Grinder Golem can do. Anytime I can fit Grinder Golem in, I just like it, so why not? 1 Cleave Genius because of the fact that 1, we're playing Machines, 2, we're playing Tomahawk. It's just really important for the Saryuja combo. Also, fun fact, this will actually become a little bit more useful going forward, just because of the fact, if it's later in the game and you can soul charge things back, you can actually search out the level 7 guy from the deck to your hand and kind of go off from there. So, really useful in the future as well. Next, we're playing one Topologic for Link 4s. I like this guy. He's definitely cuttable if you don't want to play him. I just happen to like him because I find him useful in really weird situations. The deck does deal with big boards, the deck does not deal with big boards very easily, so this is definitely an out to it. You could also play Red Dragon Archfiend Scarlight. I just prefer this guy because I think he's easier to make. One Borreload, because he can literally turn games around for you. This guy's, I really don't think I need to explain this. Borreload's just ridiculous. And then finally we're playing, of course, Saryuja. Just helps the deck become more consistent. I don't really think I need to explain this card either. Yeah, it's absolutely ridiculous. So with that, guys, thank you guys for watching this deck profile. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, guys, have a nice day.